Setbacks of all sorts have kept Christian McCaffrey from dominating like he did all those years before, but after getting traded to San Francisco, it seems like he's back once again. So let's talk about it.
Purdy, lofting, going deep, has McCaffrey, he's got it! Touchdown, San Francisco!
After back-to-back All-Pro seasons in 2018 and 19, the sky seemed to be the limit for Christian's game. So going into 2020, the hype was about as real as it gets.
Ooh, a little bit of a limp for McCaffrey.
Nearing the end of the second game of the year, Christian suffered a high ankle sprain, and just like that, his season was over. Following such a sour note to end what was looking to be such a promising year, 2021 had all the makings to be a quote-unquote bounce-back season for someone as talented as Christian. Once again, good old McCaffrey was doing his thing, but the injury bug decided to strike only 3 games into the season.
News coming from Carolina's Blue Tent, not good, and you'll see it right here. Christian McCaffrey, guys, is out of this game with a hamstring injury.
Back yet again was the hope that Christian could finish off the rest of the year and recover from what was a bit of an up and down season. But
The blitz once, they're going to create hesitation.
Needless to say, it was a rough 2 years for Christian. And so going into 22, the football world figured that there would be some kind of injury once again, even though my man is about as jacked as it gets.
Are you serious right now, bro?
The hope was there that CMC would rebound after what was a pretty rough streak of injuries and hiccups of all sort. And throughout the first few weeks, he did pretty well, but Carolina wasn't able to match his play as they started off 1-5. By this time already, it was apparent that Christian wanted to go off to brighter pastures, so I guess it was inevitable that something had to change.
The Carolina Panthers, well, they found a dance partner to trade all-pro running back Christian McCaffrey, and it's the San Francisco 49ers.
Following a very up and down 5 years with the Panthers, the writing was on the wall for Christian McCaffrey, and it was good for both sides that he left for brighter pastures. Going from Carolina to San Francisco was not too bad of a move for good old CMC, and I'm sure his girlfriend and Olivia Culpo wasn't all that mad either.
Oh my God!
But anyway, I'm sure Christian was happy heading back to his old stomping grounds, considering that he put together an insanely good college career at Stanford. At the time that the trade went down, San Francisco was 3-3, and going up against Kansas City in a matter of days. And although you would think it would take a while for Christian to do his thing with the 49ers, in that limited time, he was able to get acclimated, and at the very least, get some in-game action against the Chiefs.
His first carry, it's a good one. McCaffrey has a first down, and this crowd is feeling it.
He may have only had 8 carries, and San Francisco may have gotten smacked by the Mahomie, but it was only the beginning of what was a fresh start for Christian in the Bay. Against both LA teams, Big Mac had back-to-back touchdowns as the 49ers were finally able to get some momentum after what was a pretty rough start. And even though he wasn't able to do all that much the following 2 weeks, San Francisco was still able to dominate and extend their win streak to 4 straight as they were just on fire.
Stands out. Here's Kittle. Touchdown!
Everything was looking peachy keen in the Bay, as the team was firing on all cylinders top to bottom. And although Jimmy G was playing some of his best football, it came to an end rather quickly.
That left ankle gets rolled up on, and Garoppolo off on a cart.
Since San Francisco has one of, if not the most talented rosters in the league, even though Jimmy went down, they still had the ability to win football games. But considering that they lost Trey earlier in the year, they were down to Mr. Relevant Brock Purdy, so it was looking like an uphill battle.
Purdy loading up, going deep. He's got a man. Ayuk in. Touchdown 49ers.
Well, I guess it turns out that Brock is actually really effing good, and not only did he just help the team keep winning, but he also made way for Christian to put together back-to-back 100-yard touchdown games against Seattle and Tampa Bay. In the 7 full games that Big Mac had played with the team, San Francisco was 7-0, and although he didn't play phenomenally the entire time, he was a big reason behind the turnaround. A team with guys like Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk is tough to stop by itself, but when you add Brock and CMC, it just takes it to another level, so it wasn't all that much of a surprise that they finished off the year with 3 straight dubs to end the season on a 10-game win streak. Good old McCaffrey was able to put up back-to-back-to-back touchdowns in the last 3 games, and so along with the dominant play by Brock, Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo, San Francisco was looking dangerous as ever going into the playoffs. Sorry to stop the video, but if you got this far in, it would be awesome if you could subscribe, like, turn on post notifications, and comment down below who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. But anyways, back to the video. When you win 10 games in a row, hype is inevitable no matter if you lose every other game or not. And on a team as loaded as the 49ers, it seemed to fuel what was becoming one of the most dominant runs in the past decade.
They're down in 3, quick throw, what a catch! Can't bring him down! Samuel, highlight reel.
Although Christian switched teams midway through the season, and upon that was coming off of injuries the year before and the year before that, he was still able to put together over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground, which is all the more impressive when you add his over 704 through the year.
Low pressure, sees it, throws to McCaffrey. He's got it!
It may have seemed like Christian has fallen off a bit, considering that he hasn't been as much a centerpiece as he was in Carolina, but his over 1,900 all-purpose yards this year are top 3, only behind Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs. To put it in perspective, Tennessee is next to no one but Derrick, so yards like that are inevitable. And on the other side, Josh has gotten the ball nearly twice as much as Christian.
Nobody cares.
All this silly talk aside, Big Mac is playing as well as ever. It just doesn't seem as impressive considering that there are guys like this on his team.
Garoppolo will float it. He's got Kittle. And Kittle is gone for the touchdown.
In San Francisco, Christian doesn't have to carry the entire offense, and so he's simply one part of what is quickly becoming one of the most high-powered teams in the league. That high-powered team just so happened to end the year at 13-4, and with the second seed were matched up against the very interesting Seattle Seahawks in what was Geno's and of course Brock's very first playoff games. Going into what was a rainy, overcast afternoon in Santa Clara, the hopes were that San Francisco would continue their dominance against a team that they beat only a few weeks before. And early on, it was looking like they would be able to do just that.
The Niners back on offense. Here comes Christian McCaffrey, a gaping hole. McCaffrey gallops free.
Up 10 before the end of the first, the 49ers were playing like they did the past 10 weeks. And Big Mac was proven that he was good as ever. Although Geno, Kenneth, and the Seahawks were able to make the game interesting going into the half. After coming right back, Seattle was up 1 and seemed to have all the momentum after putting up 17 points in the second quarter alone. So now it was up to Brock, Christian, Kittle, and the gang to prove if they were the real deal or not. And let's just say that they didn't leave much on the table.
He looks. He's in trouble, but keeps it alive and finds Mitchell.
Touchdown after touchdown after touchdown had the 49ers up 20 in the fourth, as they not only proved that they were good enough to take out Seattle, but that they were still one of the most high-powered offenses in football. By this point already, Christian, Brock, and the rest of Frisco have shown that they could play as well as any team in football. So going up against Dallas will be an interesting test considering what they did to Tampa Bay.
Whoa, 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 hey.
That's wide open. Touchdown Lamb.
Dak and the Cowboys looked really effing good against Brady and the Bucks, but so did Brock and the 49ers a few weeks back. So going into this game, it's tough to guess what's really going to happen next. Both have proven that they have very dangerous offenses and great defenses, so I feel like this will be more so a test of Dak and Brock than guys like Christian and Kittle or CD and Zeke. But I mean, if Christian were able to rush for 100 like he did against Seattle, it definitely wouldn't hurt. It all just depends on how well the offense is able to operate against Micah and all the studs over there. If San Francisco loses, then that's it, and it's on to next season. But if they win, which I think they have a very good shot at, then they would probably go up against Jalen Hurts and the good old Philadelphia Eagles.
6, Hurts design run, takes off, easily the first down, Hurts on his way.
Would be yet another great matchup for Brock, Christian, Kittle, and Debo, so you'd love to see it. But truthfully, you never know what's next. All I know is that if San Francisco is able to keep up the same offense they have now, and new guys like Christian and Brock are able to have another offseason under their belt, they could be dangerous for quite some time. But hey, that's just what I think. So I think it's time to throw it back to you guys. Do you think that Christian and the 49ers have what it takes to beat Dallas and maybe make a little run? Or are they simply overrated? Comment down below your thoughts. Christian McCaffrey has been one of those guys for quite some time, but injuries and a rough situation in Carolina have kept him from greatness. So it's really cool to see him back on top in the Bay, and it makes the future look bright as ever.
Atmosphere, great energy, and should be a heck of a game. Lisa, thanks. Here's McCaffrey on a toss.
Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, turn on post notifications, and comment down below what stuff you want next. But anyway, see you all soon, and God bless.